Alrighty, guys. Good evening. Hope you guys are a wonderful evening so far, guys. Tonight we're going to be doing more of World of Warcraft. Oh, yep. Good. Hope you're having a great evening, guys. Hi. Made a mosaic yesterday, guys. Think it's working pretty good. Just did a quick change to it, too. Think it works pretty good. Alrighty. Got all of it. I'm sure we're going to find some version issues in it. The next version of it. I did not catch something. Yep. Wonderful. We're in the dead Dorn, apparently. Let's see. So, new patch released last night, guys, which is 11.0.5. We're going to quickly go over some of the patch notes. I don't plan on covering them. I'm definitely not going to release a video on them because we haven't done the talent tree yet, although I already use a calculator to figure things out because I wanted to talk things over with you guys while we're doing it. But I think we're going to take a look at the patch notes here and go from there. What website was he using? Good website for all the changes. Better than AC Veins. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, Riddy. Good evening, bro. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesdays. Good patch day. Let's take a look at the changes real quick here, guys, and my thoughts on some of them, or just what's going on here. Paladins, according to Icy Veins, because I don't play other tanks, according to Icy Veins, Paladins aren't actually one of the better tanks this expansion pack. As I've discussed myself, it feels an awful lot like there's a shitload of button spam. You're kind of impotent in general. And you don't do a whole lot of, well, really anything, so hopefully that will change. We'll have to wait and see, though, how it goes. And kind of curious to test it out before we move on to another game. Normally, we only play World of Warcraft for about 2 weeks to a month after launch. This expansion pack's been kind of cheesy, mainly because we split it up by playing Space Marines 2, as well as just kind of lackluster, I guess, low streams, low hour streams. So basically, I haven't streamed a whole lot. I have not been online. Actually, you know, it's funny because I normally stream 5 to 6 hours, and I've been generally streaming 3 hours a night. Even though I'm streaming 3 hours a night, guys, it's still a basically part-time week. That's a 20-hour work week, 21-hour work week. Yeah, Where normally I stream 5 to 6 hours, and that is a 40-hour work week, which is pretty insane for something I don't get paid for. So, yeah, things have generally slowed down, so my streams have taken longer. We've taken more time to actually progress and stuff as it goes, and that happens. But kind of curious stuff here, guys. I want to point out, prior to us actually playing tonight, that we're going to be taking a look at is Worthy Sacrifice, and particularly Blessing of Sacrifice, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, being something that you can't really use because you don't have time to cast it in the middle of combat. They've changed it, where basically they'll auto-cast on someone that's below 35% HP, which is actually pretty cool, because it'll auto-cancel if you go too low on HP yourself. So hopefully it won't kill you. If it starts giving me, I'm definitely going to get rid of it, but if it doesn't, it's actually a pretty cool change. Very, very cool change. I'm actually curious to see how this works. They've changed Divine Steed and made it so basically the talents are rolled into each other. There's Eye for an Eye, which we won't be taking, but now you can actually, basically when you use Ardent Defender, Divine Protection, it'll basically do damage back. I imagine the damage it does is absolutely abysmal, because you don't get, the abilities don't last that long, and the damage it does is not actually that much, so not really much. They kind of redid Turn Evil, but it doesn't matter because you don't use Turn Evil anyways, and even if you were going to use it in combat, you wouldn't. Putting aside PvP context for like fearing I'm calling them Necrons, Warlocks, Necrons, feeling Warlocks pets. Yeah, and I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore. They might have got rid of it at some point. Fearing Warlock pets, other than that, it doesn't really serve a purpose. And in a lot of instances, in PvE, you don't want to do it because you fear enemies. They go in, they run into other packs of enemies, which then gets you killed. So you basically never use it in PvE. It's not even like on the radar, because it'll generally just get your group killed. So like redoing Turn Evil does not address the problems with Turn Evil in and of itself. Light changes to Repentance and Blinding Light, which I don't use. It can be kind of like, it'll work for an attack, but basically once you use it, basically people get attacked and they immediately stop. But you can use it to interrupt attacks for maybe 1 to 2 seconds, which can also be a breather. Haven't been doing it recently. 2% per holy power instead of being able to reset your cooldown for 15%. Off of glory, not Word of Glory. Holy power spending abilities. Slight change. Stuff I'm actually looking at is mainly what I'm going to be covering here. Light Bearer, basically Beacon Light used to be something you could cast on yourself and it'd allow healing to basically radiate to other people. This is basically a version of Beacon Light. It might not even matter though. We'll have to wait and see. 10% of healing, but it's not to every person. It's split among them. So it's not 10% if you're in a group of 5 people. It is basically 2.5% per person of healing done to you, which I imagine is going to be jack shit. Might be useful, might not. I don't know. I do a lot of overhealing, so I'm going to end up taking it. Burns duration is reduced by 10 seconds. I never run into, you run into cooldowns, and or you never actually need to use it that often, so you don't really run into forbearance issues. Once again, something that's more PvP oriented. They're all talent builds for paladins in general, not the protection particularly. Some of these are for protection though. Some of these are still useless, like increasing the radius of your aura by 20 yards. Auras fucking do jack shit. Not exactly sure why, like, they have, like, a focus on auras. Your auras suck. They've sucked for a long time. They're basically non-starters. There's no reason to use one. The exception being PvP for concentration aura to help with CCs. Other than that, they're garbage. More or less garbage, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe I should just have concentration aura on all the time. In case I get stunned. CC'd in general. Actually, I don't even think it's stun reduction. It's just silences. It gets silenced. Change Fist of Justice. It used to make your Hammer of Justice cooldown faster. Hammer of Justice in general has been basically dropped with this talent to 45 seconds and then 15 with the talent, mainly for PvP. A lot of because you can't use stuns at all, basically, and for the most part in PvE. Sanctified Wrath reduces the cooldown on Avenging Wrath. Consecrated Ground, which increases the size. Still not going to take it because there's other things in the talent tree that are better, in my opinion. Judgment cooldowns. Increased by 10%. There's Hodge. Unbound Freedom's pretty cool. You basically just now get it by default. Unless you take the horse one, which I'm not going to. Of Dusk and Dawn, I think they actually nerfed this and then rolled it into one thing. So there's one less talent point you spend. Stuff around, which we'll take a look at when I start plugging points. This is kind of cool. So you have one that basically makes it so you can cool down your intro faster, which doesn't matter to me. The cool one, though, is allies with wielding a weapon. Basically, I get to heal. I get to overheal them with my healing. So weapons are automatically put onto teammates in general. So this means my Word of Glory, which I spam out the wazoo, is just going to overheal any ally that has a weapon, which is going to be pretty good. Assuming I can actually get the weapons up and I remember to use them. This is actually pretty neat. These are purely PvP. This is still PvP, though. Our Refining Fire increases. So here's some damage improvements. Once again, tanks do so little damage nowadays. At least prot paladins guys do so little damage nowadays. It's not even... It almost feels like it's not even worth talenting into damage stuff. It just doesn't matter. You're a wet noodle. No matter what you do, you're just a fucking wet noodle. The only time I can generate real numbers is if I use basically my macro for Avenging Wrath mixed with Divine Toll. That's it. And that's on a trash pull. And then after that point, basically you do jack shit for damage. You can't, like... Even though there's stuff to talent into damage, you just don't do damage anyways, so it really doesn't matter. Prot paladins have been basically just stomped on enough where they don't really do much in terms of numbers, unless you're basically people in your group suck, which is sometimes the case. Usually not, though. And that's not meaning you generate more damage, that means your teammates just aren't good. So even though stuff like this can be exciting, like Refining Fire, there's actually quite a bit of damage. I suspect this is going to be a substantial amount of damage, because Avenging Wrath in general, Avenger Shield in general generates a shitload of damage, and this is 125% of attack power, which is pretty extensive. So I imagine it's going to do a lot. Damage increased by 6%. I assume is for all paladins, or just all paladin abilities, just a general modifier, because it doesn't say what it's related to. Word of Glory increased healing by 20%. Word of Glory already does a shitload of healing. This is going to be even more, and then it's going to spill over into overhealing, which would be nice. But you don't get a shield for it, so you know. Base armor increased by 10%. Sotor has a damage buff, but majority of my damage doesn't come from Sotor anyways. It comes from Avenging Shield, Vendor Shield, so. Cooldown reduction, Blessed Hammer. It doesn't really matter because they're talking about the charges on it. Blessed Hammer, like, there's so much GC spam right now, I never really run into a case where I'm using up all my charges of Judgment and Blessed Hammer. Blessed Hammer does jack shit for damage, just like Shield of Righteous, or Hammer of the Righteous does jack shit for damage too. Yeah. This is a reduction on Ayatir, which is damage reduction. Changed a lot of the talent trees, which we're going to look at in a second here. Urkel, talents are now 1 point. Uther's Council. Uncreated Ground. Okay. That's pretty much it. So, I just wanted to like lightly cover the patch notes just to give you guys an idea what's going on here. Let's see. Like that. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the vault here in a second and probably plug some crests. But first, we're going to finish the talent trees. So after looking at that, we're going to go through our talent tree here. I'm probably going to explain the choices a little bit. Most of the stuff, a lot of the stuff hasn't changed on the paladin side, but some on the, or excuse me, on the prot side, but on the paladin side, can be a little bit different. So yeah, we were in the Dead Dorn. All right. Let me see. I have my talent calculator here already figured out. Uh-oh. Did I close it? I fucking closed it. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Yeah, well, we can figure it out again. Let's see. God damn, I went through and, like, actually, like, took a bunch of time to look at them. Well... I do want to get Refining Fire, which is the new one for prot. But we have to go through Connection, which I don't even use. We got 2 points refunded to us that they took out from abilities we weren't using. But I also want Sanctified Wrath. Avenging Wrath causes Judgment to generate 1 additional Holy Power. So we need to free up a point. What did I take it out of? One Shining Light, one Grand Crusader, one Inspired Vanguard. Diversity, one additional jumps. We're probably going to pop out Seal of Reprisal. Blessed Hammer does shit for damage anyways. We talked about this before, so it's not really that big of a deal. I feel like I'm actually... I swear I didn't actually remove this in the talent calculator. Order. Righteous Protector doesn't even really matter that much. You have to burn a lot of Holy Power, and it doesn't really reduce damage that much. Finding Fire. Probably remove that guy. And then Sanctified Wrath. I swear Avenging Wrath was already 25 seconds. They might have changed it. 20 and Avenging Wrath is 25, but Sentinel you can increase by using Holy Power. He'll never reach his 25 seconds. Then turns us back into 25. I don't care that much about the spell block. Block in general is so sporadic, especially for something for a spell, which is something you want to dodge. It's like basically preying on RNG. That's not something you want. A bunch of small attacks, it really doesn't matter that much. which is like melee, right? So block with melee I don't mind. Block with spells is not something you want to depend on. Also, we're going to swap over to Tempered Battle, which is the overhealing. Can't partially spend. Why, Blizzard? Why? Why? So it remembers basically some of our earlier talent points here, as long as things didn't change too much. A lot of the further trees obviously removed. We don't care about Turn Evil. Probably gonna remove Blinding Light. I don't really use it. I don't care about Hodge cooldown, because I don't use Hodge in PvE. Lay Hands grants 30% increased armor. We're definitely taking that. I remember doing that. We're going to be taking... So, Divine Seed's cooldown is reduced by 20%, but its duration is reduced by 40%. I don't actually know why you'd want to do this. I guess create a little bit of a gap between you and someone, like PvP. But I don't really... Like, every time you want to use this, you actually want to move places. It's not really like a small movement ability. Like a teleport. I don't know why you do that. We're going to go Blessing of Freedom. The other one allows you to basically... It automatically gives you a Blessing of Freedom, a buff, when you get on your horse. But then you obviously lose down on a secondary cooldown, which also can be used on your teammates. I guess it would cast... I don't actually know how this would work, because it casts on your horse, so maybe it doesn't... If it gave him a horse, that'd be great, but it doesn't. Pretty sure. But if we do buff, and then we also do Unbound Freedom, we basically get an additional 30% movement speed, and we help a teammate out. And 2 charges, obviously, out of the picks here, is probably the best one. Need Rebuke. Greater Judgment. I don't know why you wouldn't want Greater Judgment. Once again, even though there's stuff here to increase our DPS, it almost feels like it doesn't even matter. You're pissing into a barrel, guys. Fine Steed. What did I spend a point on? Might have taken Blinding Light. There's one that heals after for 89,000, which is basically nothing, by the way. After you cleanse. Successfully cleanse. Give someone a free Word of Glory. After 20 Holy Power, that's 7 Holy Power spending, guys. That is an insanely long time for 30%, which is nothing. And you don't even get to control when it's used. Absolutely worthless. This was further down the talent tree before. This is a worthless talent. I don't know who balances this shit, guys, but you have to, like... If you look, like, a Flash of Light is 360,000 healing. Like, look in the bottom right. 360,000 healing. I guess you guys can't see that. It's 360,000 healing. This heals for 90k on a successful cleanse. What? I mean, maybe for your spamming cleanse on someone that's being, like, having poison effects applied to them so you can kind of heal them while cleansing them? I don't know. Same way with After Image here. You have 20 Holy Power, which is 7 Word of Glories. I can give a teammate a 30% Word of Glory. Word of Glory heals for 518,000. Casting 7 of them, I can give someone a 30% heal that I don't get to pick. What? Not like the lowest person in your group or like in a moment of need or something, like it saves up a charge that it gives to a teammate when they drop below a health percentage. It's garbage. This is just pure garbage. Why would you ever do this? I have no fucking idea. No idea. Maybe, I don't even think this works for Holy Paladins, because I'm pretty sure they spam Flash of Lights. So, I don't know. This is redundant too. They moved it around. No idea. So, we're probably just going to end up taking Blinding Light again. Once again, having like a 1 to 2 second interrupt is nice, even if it basically doesn't work for a long period of time. We already have Boff. Obviously taking Divine Toll. We're going to take Sanctified Place. We didn't before, by the way. We didn't before. Purely because I had points this is further down the tree, and I didn't have points to spend. So we're definitely taking it this time. If I hit C, I'm pretty sure it's going to close this fucking window. And I don't want that. I wanted to look at my armor before and after. I think I was at 42.6k. Pulling a number out of my ass. 42.1. I guess we can take a look at that later after we switch it around a little bit. Divine Resonance gives more damage than Divine Towing, allows it to synchronize better with abilities, which is why we take that. Because this drops down the cooldown, but then it doesn't mesh well with other things like Avenging Wrath. So, the new one we will be taking, also before we get to that. No, I don't think we're taking this. Beating 2%, AoE effects reduced by 2%. A little bit of nice is kind of nice, doesn't matter. Forbearance doesn't matter. Nothing usually, maybe PvP matters. Nothing usually attacks you where unpredictably, excuse me. Someone's talking about me. Reduction in Divine Shield, Iron Defender, Lay on Hands. I mean, Lay on Hands reduction is nice, but we aren't going to be going this path. Actually, did I? Like, I want to go down here. I remember having to make a choice between either of these two sides. Basically, where we're going to end up. Either way. We're taking Blessing of Sacrifice, and if this doesn't work, we're probably going to get rid of it, but for now, I want to take this because I want to see how it works in dungeons. So it's not this, it's rather the talent further down, which allows me to automatically cast it on a teammate when they get too low on health, which I think would actually be very, very, very useful. Blessing of Sacrifice cancels when you go below 20% HP, so it won't kill you. But, I mean, it might kill me anyways through other means, but it won't kill you. Shouldn't kill you. So we're going to do Blessing of Sacrifice. And obviously I want to do Recompass, which will repurpose the damage into damage I can then cast, or extra healing, which also be nice. Whether or not it works, by the way, I don't know. So the weird thing about Worthy Sacrifices, it says the effect activates 100% of Blessing of Sacrifice's cooldown. I don't know exactly what that means. It can mean that if you have Sacrifice of the Just, it does a full 2-minute cooldown instead of an 1-minute cooldown with Sacrifice of the Just. I don't know if that's not true or not. And depending, by the way, on how much Recompass actually matters, it might just be better taking this so it activates more often. This basically just gives my group mitigation on someone that's about to die, which is insane. That's actually pretty cool. It's one of the better changes this expansion pack, or this patch, and arguably this expansion pack, because it seems an awful lot like these talents were ready to go over a month and a half ago, and they just waited. They just waited because they wanted to make sure they had extra content for the 20th anniversary patch, which is fucking hilarious. But, you know. Someone called that at Blizzard. Obviously, so the weird thing is Force Strength gives you 2 and Reconnected. It means 2% more for all my Holy Power spending abilities, which is nothing. It is absolutely nothing. I have no idea how they chose to balance this. Meanwhile, I have an ability that makes it so when I spend it, I have a chance of casting basically 1 Holy Power ability for free for 15% of the time. So how is 2% of all Holy Power abilities the equivalent of 15% basically free recast? Or just a free cast? Why? They're percentages, right? So, I mean, if this was 15, you would take it purely because it would be a static 15%, right? But over time, this should work out to basically being 15% more of abilities of your choice, right? So whoever the fuck balanced this has no idea what the fuck they're doing. So while you could say, oh, we don't want this to be 15% because we want to have some more risk element to it, and this is more consistent, right? So why would you pick this over this? This should be, I mean, if you want, it should be 15% if they were equal. And if you want to offset the idea that, you know, maybe having some more RNG should pay off, maybe make this 12%, right? But it doesn't. You have 3%, or excuse me, 2%, and then you have 15%. Oh, and by the way, it also increases the damage and healing by 15%. So this not only is 15% of the time you get a free ability, by the way, and this lasts for a little while, you don't need to use it right away. I forgot, it doesn't tell you the cooldowns, and it really should. There should be like a shift button to see more information on spells. On their 20-year-old game here. That should give you the information you need to see instead of having to download add-ons and look for them. But in this case, this gives you 15% more damage and healing, and this gives you 2% everything. not all damage. This could be all damage, and it still wouldn't be worth it. This could be 2% all healing and damage, and it still wouldn't actually. Maybe nah. I think it'd have to be like 3. Let's go 3% because Avenger Shield and Word of Glory. Word of Glory is a holy power ability, right? So I'd maybe say like 4% is probably the trade-off if this was everything, healing and damage. And instead, this is only 2% to holy power. What the fuck is this? Like, is this just not a choice? Did you have your latte in the morning? What the fuck is this, bro? I don't think so. Anyway, so obviously we're taking this because 15% of the time you get a 15% stronger ability, and it's free. Just insane. And Shield of the Righteous is off the GC, by the way. So you'll see me almost spamming this all the time because it's basically an ability. I feel as though Word of Glory should also be off the GC, but they're not. There's a lot of Paladin spam right now, and that would most definitely help. Armor, crit chance, obviously going to take that. That's 2 good things right there. Crit gives you parry mitigation, by the way, if you don't know. We're obviously going to take improved Boff, which is something I wanted in the first place, which basically means Boff is a movement ability, but it also casts Boff, so Blessing of Freedom, on another player too. So it means someone just gets a free Boff when I'm using it, which probably means they need it too. This is an easy point. It's actually just good. Bop I almost never use because it breaks aggro, depending on the kind of mob. If they're a boss that can do melee and spellcasting, they'll still aggro to you, but if they can only do melee attacks, they will unaggro. So it has to be a combination. Obviously, if they're using spell power, it doesn't matter at all. Cooldown on Divine Shield, or Defender, Lay on Hands. Lay on Hands, they have a reduction, I believe, on the right side. Cast time. No, I don't have it. Your Glory heals for 20% over 10 seconds, increased to 100%. That doesn't matter, but it basically means just additional 20% Word of Glory healing, which is... And especially with, I think Lightbearer is... I can't use Lightbearer myself, it has to be the healer. But he's just going to help in general, we're going to take that. Oh, there it is. Armament fades from you, cooldown on Lay Hands is reduced by 15 seconds, and you gain Shining Light. Shining Light's a free Word of Glory, which then feeds our other abilities. It's like, you know, like the kit here and some of the stuff they got is pretty cool, but a lot of the numbers are just too low. Seems like it's often the case with balancing is sometimes like Helldivers too. You can have a really cool idea, and then just the numbers aren't there, and then they don't really know where to put the numbers, so then it ends up all sorts of fucked up. Kind of feels the same way with like Paladins with some of the abilities where like the idea is here, but then like the numbers don't match up with it. They can't really make it work in their head. Either way. So basically, cools down, Lay Hands reduced by 15 seconds. That's like nothing because it's a 10-minute cooldown. And the amount of armaments you go through is very minimal, comparably. I'd say you probably go through, if you are getting the armaments up time, you probably go through maybe 2 armaments every 4 minutes. You have a 60-second window on them per piece, so maybe it's like a half-time, 50% uptime. But they go down and they aren't on the GC, or they are in the GC, which means you have to cast them again, which means trade-offs between other stuff that you're using. So oftentimes you'll see my armaments sitting here, I'm not using them, because it's difficult to use them in the middle of everything that's going on. While I was trying to keep myself alive with Word of Glory, and you have to keep Shield of Righteous up in order to keep the buffs rolling on your character. Another 30% reduction. Blessing is, I'm surprised it's not all blessings. Blessing of Protection, Blessing of Spell Warding, not Blessing of Sacrifice though. Lay on Hands. No Boff, no Blessing of Sacrifice. I think I put a point into Bop. What else do we have going on here? Oh, interrupt, punishment. I wanted this. Success rate interrupting an enemy, 3 book of Ranger Shield. Cast an extra blessed hammer. You might go, oh, that's not that doesn't matter that much. In PvE, especially in dungeons, you interrupt a lot with Avenger Shield. It's actually a pretty big deal. That being said, Hammer of the Righteous and Blessed Hammer do bold diddly dunk my damage, so it doesn't really even matter. In the case of casting an extra Blessed Hammer, though, it applies the melee damage reduction, which is actually not that. Like, it feels like they honestly missed the numbers. 20,000. Bosses hit me for like 1.2 mil melee, and trash hits me for like 600,000. So, yeah. I mean, I guess that's 3%, which is, once again, nothing. Hammer of the Righteous, even though the number looks much bigger, it does nothing. It's like we looked at this in overall in a dungeon. They basically produce the same amount of damage. Only Blessed Hammer has a debuff to it, and it can be cast anywhere, so I can use it to generate Word of Glory charges. I don't need to be next to something. Let's see. So we're probably going to bop. What did I not spend points on? Did I not spend points on? Speed, AoE reduction, talented Word of Turn Evil. Give and take mount. Reduction on spell I don't use. I really don't actually want bop. I almost never use bop. It's kind of nice for healers when they're running around you scared. Blessing of Sacrifice should be able to pick up a lot of that slack, though. On Zealot's Paragon, Judgment is actually like 10% of my damage, even though I don't cast it all the time when it's on off cooldown. Eye for an Eye, 33,000 is absolutely jack shit. A Judgment does 152,000. This depends on people around you doing melee attacks to you too, so this is going to be basically nothing. Absolutely nothing. Avenger Shield also does 71,000, but it has a bunch of shit that operates on top of it, and it's per target struck. So this is, it does, yeah, I don't know once again who balanced this. You have to take into account how often you're being swung at, and how long Divine Shield's going to last for, and it's nothing. Probably going to talent that. We might do Consecrated Ground. I really don't want Bop. I think in the talent guide I actually did Bop and Improve Blessing of Protection. But I don't use either of these two, so... Improve Consecrate. Might as well. It's either that or Bop. Bop. I don't even use Bop, so having it doesn't really change much of anything. We might swap this off later. We can always change it. Allies are here for 71,000 when you cast Blessing on them, and healed again when it ends. So 140,000 healing, which isn't actually that much. But it also operates off Blessing of Sacrifice. Worthy Sacrifice, obviously, we're going to do. So that means when a player that's low on HP activates Blessing of Sacrifice, they're also going to get healed a little bit, and then a little bit at the end, which is kind of nice. I think it'll help the healer out. A lot of this, I mean, it's kind of cool. A lot of these numbers, once again, aren't really that big. And once again, my Blessed Flash of Light does 360,000, and I'm not even a Holy Paladin. So, yeah. Yeah, like, if this actually synergized with that, like, let's say it also did that, where, like, you'll cast your saved up Word of Glory, will cast on someone that's below 35%, you know, like when Blessing of Sacrifice activates through Worthy Sacrifice. If it did that, you know, that'd be great. That's actually meaningful, right? But it's just random heals on random people that might not even need it, that just activates random. Yeah, bruh. All right. But we're going to take Worthy of Sacrifice. You automatically cast Blessing of Sacrifice onto an ally 40 yards, within 40 yards when they're below 35% health and you are not at loss control effects, so basically not in arenas. So you can't auto-activate when you're CC'd, which is actually some people used to use boss for CC protection in arenas. Yeah, which actually did work. You just have to be fast with it, but a lot of arena players have hotkeys for group members, so they automatically cast, well, not automatically, they macro cast things like boss on members in their group. When I was in arena, there's basically hotkeys and macros you had to have set up to do that, to make you a better arena player. Either way, it's trying to prevent that from happening on a low skill, basically toggle, but that's not what we're using it for. Recompass, I'm actually very interested to see what this is going to do. Not even that much. 50% of the total damage it diverted, so not even 100% of the damage, which is 30% of the damage that they take. It is 50% of the damage of Blessing of Sacrifice, which means this might be jack shit, by the way. 50% of the damage diverted, which might be absolutely nothing, because you're only diverting 30% of the damage to begin with, not 100%, 30%, is then you can apply it to either your healing or your damage dealing. Yeah. And it cannot exceed 30% of my maximum health. I don't know where it ever exceed that much, but it, 30% of the damage and 50% of 30% of the damage someone's taking cannot exceed 30% of my total HP. But, like, yeah, I don't know why that's there, but it is. I mean, if it was, if it didn't have a cap to it, I guess you could save it up and then maybe cast one ability that just kills people. So maybe this is preventing cheese in arenas. I guess. So after, five casts of boss over 10 minutes, you could actually kill one player. Jesus. Yeah, 30%, so 15% of 30%. So, once again, this might be do jack shit, and it might just be better off just taking the Sacrifice Adjust. It depends on whether or not this is applied to Worthy Sacrifice. If that secondary effect that it's talking about, this effect activates 100% Blessing Sacrifice's cooldown. If it doesn't take into account just talent, then it's basically pointless. But either way, whole reason we're gearing into this is because it actually is helpful to squad members. It might be pretty cool. Oh, you guys can't see that. Here, let me help you out here. Either way, not really. Kind of cool, but I don't know how much is going to help. Just a cool thing. Obviously going to take 4% strength. We'll be taking Dusk and Dawn. Lightbearer is the Beacon of Light, which used to be a talent for healers, I believe, not for prop paladins. So heal, we talked about the heal on Blessing, Sacrifice, End, and Begin, which might be nice. Hammer Wrath and Judgment deal 10% additional damage. Yep. I don't know why this is way at the bottom. Removing harmful effects from your Divine Shield heals you for 10% of each effect removed. This heal cannot exceed 30% of your maximum health. So this could actually be a pretty meaty heal. I think this is purely a PvP talent when you're playing against people with dots, which actually would make paladins, that's a pretty big deal, right? Especially if you're ret. This is really any paladin, to be perfectly honest. But for PvE, this basically has almost no purpose, and also allows you to throw away. Forbearance doesn't matter, so matter. And we have 3 talents. I believe this is exactly where I was on the talent calculator. 3 talent points left, and I believe I did auto attacks, heal a nearby ally for 47,000, or we can do judgments cast for the next 5 successful heals. Successful attacks against the target heal the attacker for 12,000. That is absolute shit. That is absolute bodunk shit. That is beyond. It's absolute doggy doo doo, guys. What are they doing? In their head, they're mathing this out. So you have 5 successful attacks. That means this is actually technically doing 60,000 healing. Once again, Flash of Light does 360,000. Word of Glory does 500 and how much is it? 518,000. And we have an ability here that over 5 attacks will heal for 50,000, 60,000. What the fuck? What is that? No idea. The more important one, which I actually talented in before, but is now moved around so we can't get it, is Consecration heals you and allies for 3,300 every basically 1 second. This is actually kind of nice. So this actually adds up to quite a bit over time. But we will not be taking a golden path. I'll take a look at my meters before I reset, hopefully before I reset them. Instead, we're going to go to the left side here. We will be doing your auto attacks heal nearby ally for 47,000. There isn't really anything else that I want to talent into, so we're kind of at the bottom here with stuff that I don't really care about. This I would take, but I can't. Unless I go through this talent, which sucks, so we're not going to be doing that. But the one I'm actually interested in is Shield of Righteous. Increases armor by 5% for basically 4.5 seconds. It actually feels like that's changed. That should be 5 seconds, but it feels like that's somehow affected by haste, which is kind of weird. I don't know why it's 4.5 instead of 5, but, you know, I guess. But Shield of Righteous spam is pretty often, so basically means I get an additional 5% armor. Shield of Righteous heals you and up to 2 nearby allies for 2%. In the patch notes it said 3%. I don't know why it's reduced to 2. Either way, that's trash. And 3% is still trash, by the way. Shield of Righteous being a 3 holy power ability. It means basically nothing. That's poo-poo again. Some of these talents look like they've changed. This one in the patch notes said 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds. And here we're seeing 5% bonus armor for 4.5 seconds. I don't know if it's bugged or they changed it. Either way, that's relatively low, but it's better than the other options here. What heals your next 5 successful attacks against the target? The judgment causes the next 5 successful attacks against the target to heal the attack for 12,000. What the fuck is that? What is that? Off of judgment. Oh my god. That might matter more, by the way, with maybe spell power. So if you are a Holy Paladin, that might matter more. For me, it's nothing. Same thing with Seal the Crusader. There used to be talents down here, by the way, that your attacks would actually do damage. Those are gone. There's 2 of them down here. Right here. Now they're gone. One is successful attacks do damage. Another one was, I think you have a 25% chance to do extra damage. Was it on Shield of Righteous? I think it was. Basically, they got rid of them and added in more healing. Both these, a lot of the choices down here really suck now. Some of the choices up here are pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then they just made a lot of stuff suck. So. What else can we spend a point in? Consecrated ground. I guess we're going to see how much this does, and then at the end of we'll take a look at our healing stats at the end and see how much he's actually hit for. I'm kind of curious how much Faith's armor increases stuff. If it's like a fractional percent, we're probably going to get rid of it and go down this side instead for Golden Path. Actually, that's not even that much. It's like, what? Is this actually broken? Are my stats broken? I guess it means I could heal for 15,000 second. Maybe it's not broken. No, actually, no, that still seems really broken. That's if everyone's standing in my consecrate, which they aren't going to be. Maybe I'll have like 1 or 2 teammates standing in. Still seems like shit. Either way, we're going to see how much this armor's worth here after I talent into things. And then maybe we'll do the auto attack here. There isn't really, like I said, there's not a whole lot down here I'm actually interested in. PvP stuff. Lots of PvP stuff built into the talent trees. After you spend 7 Word of Glories, guys, you can heal a random teammate for 30% of the Word of Glory. Yay! Naval retalent's still not going to be used. This, I think, is purely PvP. For dealing with... Maybe you can do this on demon hunters? Are demon hunters considered demons? I don't think so. No, they're not, because they had the whole discussion early on about undead being treated like undead mobs, and that got fixed right away. So. Alright. Blessing of Sacrifice is the thing that I'm kind of interested in. There's some more Word of Glory healing in here. A lot more healing. Free heals for my group members. Not really much changed in the way of mitigation for the tank already. Being a tank, not much has changed. Damage-wise, a little bit of buffs, but not really any difference. I think the big difference here is going to come from this guy. Refining Fire. Other than that, there isn't really much in the way of damage changes here. And some of these are different than the patch notes. I'm not sure if it's intentionally or unintentionally, like face armor is different. I know that's different. It is 20%. This used to be 3%. I don't know if that's a newer patch or what. Like, this isn't the PTB that's live right now or something? PTR? But in the patch notes we read, it was 3%. Now it's 2, which is... 3% was low and 2% is even lower. So... Blessing, allies affected by your blessings have a 50% increased movement speed. That actually might be nice. Like, there's something that I might trade off with here. Like, that one is a nice utility. So for boss when it activates, or boff when it activates on them, I think it might include yourself. It means to just move faster, which is just really nice. We're going to go with this for now, though. Can always make revisions. Right, let's make sure we have it in our spellbooks. And there isn't any weekly quests now for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Then it reset. There should be a checkbox here that says not on bar. Compass? Here's boss, by the way. I had it at one point. I think I had a macroed at one point, but it's too hectic to try to use it in the middle of dungeons, unless you literally don't have to pay attention to what's going on around you, which you usually have to pay attention to what's going on around you as a tank. Boff. Blessing of Freedom, Blessing of Protection, Blessing of Sacrifice, you Divine Toll, I already had Divine Toll, Authoritative Rebuke, Reprisal. Goodbye, 20% damage. Oh no. That's nothing! That's absolutely nothing! Okay. What did I say? I wanted to look at damage meters before we fuck these up too much. Healing done. Overall data. Where is Golden Path? Only 1%. Bulwark of Order. Holy Bulwark. Divine Guidance. Titans, I don't know what that is. Lay on Hands. This matters a lot. Bulwark of Order. They're over shields. There's Holy Bulwark. Bulwark Order, which is Vendor Shield. So Bulwark of Order is Vendor Shield, and Moment of Glory. Vendor Shield, 15%. Moment of Glory is 2.8%. Oh diddly, guys. Lay on Hands did more, and I periodically use it. This is an oh shit button. This basically means I had like 5 oh shit moments in this instance. Additional 30% armor is pretty nice, by the way. So before we get too into things here right now, guys, I want to take a peek at my armor. The armor is currently at 47%, so I've gained about 5% armor mitigation. Basically physical mitigation from my armor, which is pretty good. And that's mainly probably due to Sanctified Plates. Random like that. I say 47.3. Yeah, so I lost about 2.3% physical reduction right there. And obviously this will increase. Well, actually it won't, because there's a diminishing return. So eventually it won't matter, but up until that point. Does. Tough to figure out. There's a lot of the armor mitigation guides haven't been updated in like forever, so it's actually difficult to figure out like how much stuff matters. That's like 2%, but it gives me more additional stam too, which is nice. And AoE effects doesn't really matter much, but why not? Is 10%, so this talent probably means it does nothing. Maybe both these do nothing. Both sides here do jack shit, guys. Like, alright, so there's no options. Okay. Because this is 5%, and this gives me, you know, assuming it's linear, which is not going to be because diminishing returns. This gives me 2.3% additional physical mitigation. This means this gives me 1.15% physical mitigation on face armor. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Here's this ability that happens only occasionally when you use Shield of the Righteous, guys, that does 1.3% physical mitigation. Like, it seems good until you put it into context, guys. Everything you put into context, and once again, you can figure a lot of this out just by hovering over elements. And there's a lot of shit here that, like, I'd say utility actually matters more than stuff like this. This doesn't even matter. There's, like, no way to increase my damage anymore down here. Like, they got rid of it. It's gone. Like, for additional damage through melee attacks and stuff, eye for an eye is jack shit. Considering this is off Divine Shield and a melee attack. Like, what? What is this even? Flash of Light. These might do more, once again, if you actually are maybe holy with spell power coefficients. I don't know, guys. Like, I was looking through the guide, and they show you, like, attack power and spell power, and I thought it'd be worth more, but it's not. There's a lot of shit in here. There's a lot of garbage. Lots of trash. Not exactly sure what this means. Yeah. So I thought the main thing here that's changed that is actually kind of cool is boss. There were some options for increasing damage, but they're now gone. So I guess all we got was boss out of this? Yeah. In patch notes when I saw it was 3% and this is 20%, which actually might be useful. That would mean the physical mitigation would be, you know, if we're going off the same thing, 5% physical mitigation would pop up whenever you Shield the Righteous for 5 seconds. which probably means you maybe have 66% uptime on that, just pulling a number out of my ass. And muscle memory and how often I use Shield of the Righteous. 2.3% physical mitigation. Yeah. Talent is for Ret or Holy. They don't have a Shield of the Righteous. Trash, guys. Lots of trash down here. I thought it would be worth more. The cool thing is this. Luckily, we still get to keep the 4% strength. They did move up Divine Toll to make this more accessible. Yeah. It feels like this is basically... We'll take a look at things tonight and see how it goes. This feels like kind of a utility trade-off for damage. But you don't do damage anyways, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. It feels like, by the way, if you were being a good tank, you wouldn't be taking this shit. You do things like Bop, Blessed Calling. I don't know, even if you're a good tank, maybe you wouldn't be taking any of this. That might be worth. And taking Inspired Guard instead of Seal Crusader. I need healing, because I'm using a mitigation effect. It actually might be worth taking. There's improved Ardent Defender, I don't have too. Pop it up to 30% damage reduction. You can cool it down faster. You could get a heal off of it. Already have the cooldown reduction on it. Oh, it's also Ardent Defender. Well, that's kind of nice. Divine Shield, not so much, but Ardent Defender, kind of nice. But it's only 35,000 damage. And if this is PvP, they just stop attacking you, so it's not really even that big of a deal. And in PvE, it's not that much damage for bosses anyways, so... Eye for an eye, they played really, really, really safe on. One second every 3 holy power is nothing. You have to generate the holy power to use it in the first place, and then use it. A lot of the cooldown reduction is like 1 second, 1.5 seconds. It's like nothing. I want to make you feel like you're getting something out of it when you're not. Alright, I think we're set for now, guys. Let's take a peek. Go to our vault. I already looked at the vault earlier today, guys, so I know what we got, and it's another stinker. So, yeah. Alright, what do we have here for options, guys? We could have got one more slot, and another 616 slot if I wanted to. But I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure this expansion pack, the vault, is very rigged, so it's not really even worth this. It's just going to give you duplicate options. We have another week of shoulders, guys. Another week of 616 shoulders. This is like the 3rd week in a row I've gotten 616 shoulders, by the way. And lo and behold, they're worse than my current shoulders. Yay! So good, guys. Yay! Wow, so it's a downgrade. One of our 616 slots is wasted on a downgrade. And by the way, there's plenty of slots that could have gave me that are upgrades. A band. Band stats, by the way, while it is a 10 eye level upgrade, rings are worth jack shit for stats, so generally not something we want. You know, if there wasn't another option, we'd probably maybe take it. Rings have almost no stats on them. There's no primary, no strength on it, so yeah, doesn't really matter. Breastplate. This could actually be kind of nice, but it's still only a 10 eye level upgrade, and then improve or increase the eye level upgrades for the vault. I don't know, they're probably going to do that in Season 2. So it's still only a 616, 10 eye level upgrade. That's not super horrible. Then we have a weapon. Weapons are very rare, and this is probably what we're going to end up taking, by the way. Weapons tend to be extremely rare. It has the 2 stats on it I want, but mainly it's hero. It's only a 3 eye level upgrade because I've upgraded my weapon. It's only a 3 eye level upgrade. However, we will more than likely be taking this, mainly because it's hero level and I can upgrade this with crests, which is probably where I'm going to be spending my gilded crests if I can get any, which is also pretty rare. We're going to lose a 3rd stat, which is unfortunate because it tends to be like very nice considering what it is. I don't think they're worth a whole lot until you actually take a look at them. Like leech is like 1%. That's like literally one of the talent one of our talent specs. Also DC, reconnect. But this is probably what we're going to be taking. I would say the biggest single upgrade is here. And by the way, we need a 4th slot for... so this is kind of painful. We need a 4th slot for our set bonus for our set. So, like, this would be nice if I want to convert this to a set piece, which wouldn't be a bad idea. However, because weapons are so rare, we are most likely going to be taking this, just because weapons are a huge upgrade, and being able to upgrade this even a little bit will probably be more helpful than any of the other pieces. Chest is one of the highest eye-level pieces, or highest budgeted piece of gear, along with your helm and your legs. However, not a weapon, and weapon is basically the biggest single upgrade you can make. So, and you can't craft this. Crafting in general is a waste of time unless you want the embellishments. And embellishments are worth a third. You can get 890 secondary stat rolled randomly, which means it's worth a third of a ring. Embellishment's worth a third of a ring, a third of a secondary stat of a ring worth of stats, which is basically jack shit. It's best in slot because you can't get higher than that because you can't get an embellishment on a normal item. It's just the way that it is. In terms of budgeting, it'll always be best because you just can't get higher, as it turns out. And best is a binary argument. It's just something's the best and something's not. It doesn't matter how much it is. Either way, crafting is an absolute waste of time. And it doesn't even bypass the crest grind, so yeah. And we can't even get, in order to craft a 326 weapon, which is what this can turn into, I would need gilded crests, which, you know, I'm obviously not going to have 90 gilded crests. Huge waste of time. And just scraping enough crests to even upgrade this is going to be a pain in the ass. Or my other hero pieces of gear. We're basically just at a stagnation right now. Like, we can't get to... we can't get into key 8s because it's too hard, and the groups aren't good enough. The gear doesn't scale with the difficulty of the dungeons. We'll see how it is this week, but my guess is going to be more of the same. But I at least want to try playing the new patch a little bit, so... either way, basically this comes down to either of these two options. We're going to end up taking this because it's a weapon. This would probably be a pretty nice, you know, secondary. I wish that you could just apply the set piece to any set piece of gear. Like, it just change the you know, piece to be just enable set piece on it and just turns it on. And that's it. But it doesn't, so you keep the stats, but you can't. You just get the crappy stats that the set piece hands you. Unfortunately, so you can't really just pick your gear. More hand-holding and or just Blizzard not allowing you to change your character in a meaningful fashion, unfortunately. Yeah. Used to be able to restack gear, guys, and gemming, you'd end up with like 16 gem slots or shit like that. Nowadays, you know, it's not. And enchanting is a very small amount of your gear. Kind of ruined a lot of the game when they just got rid of this stuff. Lost your secondary stats, a lot of bonuses from secondary stats. Like, I could use actually intellect items for spell power if I wanted to. Basically ruined a lot of customization in the game to make things more accessible, but it didn't really, because you could, like, people that were playing back then would just look at guides. People that are playing today still look at guides. They, like, literally changed nothing. Absolutely nothing. It just made it so people that actually knew how to play the game couldn't actually, you know, do something special or different, which is kind of shit. Either way, we're going to end up taking the sword. New key, we got... What? Where's the dungeon name? Maybe you can't see it here? Brimbatol. Okay. Well, there's that. So we did get a new weapon. That. It's a 3 eye level upgrade for something I can't even... I can't even upgrade. Yeah. Because I don't have Gilded Crests. Let's take a look at it, guys, shall we? Oh, I can upgrade it once. I can upgrade it once. And then it goes to Gilded. Shit. Shit, guys. Shit. I mean, I might do that anyways. I might just do that anyways. Shit, guys. Let's do that. Let's do that, shall we? We are going to upgrade. We're going to upgrade with my handful of ruined crests. Uh-huh. +3. Actually, what I plan on doing, by the way, is upgrading my shield, which we are most likely going to be doing here in a second. Because another item that actually has meaning and value. Probably going to be upgrading this as much as I can. Also has a lot of stats on it. This one doesn't have any stam on it, but it kind of curiously has a useful effect on it, which actually isn't that bad. It's we looked at the instances, and it was actually about 3% of healing. Of my healing was from the reactive webbing, which means it was activating. Can activate in boss fights too, so it actually can be pretty useful. The trade-off is losing stam, but the stam I lost out on is like 200,000 health. So I trade like, and also has additional armor on it. I trade like 200,000 HP for an effect that can heal me for 3% of my HP, as well as additional. I believe it's about 0.6%. Physical mitigation, which isn't that... I'd rather have secondary stats than the bonus armor, if I could, but you can't, so... We'll also be converting... We're going to wait and try to plan things out here before I do stuff that I can't undo. Also, we got a silk this week. We are going to be doing... I believe my hands. Gives me... Yeah. I thought the boots might do it too, but they're not. The boots are not actually a set piece. I made the mistake already of doing my wrist, which we already got rid of already. This unfortunately is not actually... I could do my chest. This unfortunately is not actually hero level, which once again would be one of the reasons to pick the chest was because it would be hero level. That being said, I haven't upgraded in my hero level gear, so, you know... Just having the option of upgrading in the first place doesn't mean you're going to upgrade, guys. Yeah. So, and might even end up replacing my helm already as veteran, but it still doesn't even matter because it's a 606, and I barely have 606s, 609s right now. So, like it doesn't even fucking matter. We'll get the 4-piece for the additional... damage during Avenging Wrath, which I think actually would be pretty nice. It's one of the things I wanted to try out for a long time, and we haven't had the option to do so. Can always upgrade this, so. Now we have the 4-piece. Yay! Appropriate. Why don't I copy? Because it doesn't matter that much, and because adjusting your talents is actually fun. Like, why would I want to do that? Like, literally making my characters have to... It's like playing PoE and then just copying a build instead of actually trying to enjoy, like, making the build. This is not fun. So like, it just removes all autonomy from you. And like I said, it doesn't really even matter that much, so. We talked about, like, if you're here a little bit ago, we talked about basically how weapons or, like, your crafted items will just be best. Like, they'll be a biz because you get an embellishment. An embellishment, however, is only worth a third of a secondary stat on a ring. It's worth 890 secondary stat, the one that people say is the best. Is worth a third of a secondary stat, so versatility. It's worth 890 stat right there. And that makes it bis because none of the drops get that. Even if they're the same eye level, none of the drops give it. So it will always be bis. But that's just a binary, it's a binary name. It doesn't matter that much. And it's chosen at random too. So it rolls through and every 8 seconds it'll swap between a random secondary stat, which makes it even less useful. It's not your primary stat or your top secondary stat. It just rolls through it. There's one that does your primary stat, but it's a proc instead of being a constant thing, which obviously is normalized as well. So you can probably just figure out that's just going to be the same thing. Either way, like it doesn't matter at this point. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter at all. A lot of the stuff doesn't matter, so I'd rather actually have autonomy as opposed to just copy-pasting someone and playing the game on autopilot and then thinking it makes me a good player. So I'd rather actually have a little bit of freedom here and change things and do weird, quirky stuff, which is kind of cool, as opposed to just doing what everyone else is doing. So as I mentioned, we're probably going to upgrade our new weapon, and this should hopefully reduce the cost for upgrading the shield. So I think we're going to get one level out of here, and this should... Well, actually, I don't even think we can get it up to the shield anyways, or get it up to that. It's actually 616. We're going to have to get more Rude Huntbringer crests. We're going to do the shield and sword first, guys. We may get a new shield, but once again, weapon drops and offhand drops are extremely rare to, like, trinkets. So the chances of you getting one, I think both these trinkets were from Vault. I think both of these were actually Vault picks. I don't think I've actually gotten a trinket from... I don't think I've gotten a single drop from a key for a trinket at all. And almost half of these gear upgrades, guys, I got from Mythics were from other people. They weren't stuff that I got. Like the gear that I've gotten is almost all... Once again, a lot of stuff in this game's rigged. The gear drops I got were almost all duplicates or just downgrades. However, probably half of my upgrades from keys were from other people. Just trading back and forth, which is also why it's kind of important to go with other people, because they can't rig that, because then no one gets gear. They can maybe try to do it, but then once again, no one gets gear drops and they interfere with each other. It's like one of the few ways to actually get around the rigged gear drop system. Anyways, we're probably going to upgrade our weapon first here, just to squeak out a little extra. Once again, we don't even have anywhere close to the guild. I don't even know if we're going to, before I quit, I don't even know if I'm going to get gilded upgrades at all. It's just not going to happen. Because it requires eye level 8 instances, which we don't do, because it's actually just where everything starts exploding is right around 7. We got pretty much everything maxed out. But maybe we'll see what things go tonight. I'm curious. Either way. So probably going to upgrade our sword here, and then do our shield as far as we can go, and then we'll probably have to save up more. And the upgrades past now actually take gilded. I got a 619 weapon, guys. Wow, we're so amazing. We're so amazing, guys. Wow. Yep. And stuff I can't upgrade. Lost one upgrade, that's fine. To a 613 shield. What even gets the... Could upgrade all of our 603s. What even gets the discount? Said because I had an offhand. So, like, none of these can get discounted because I don't have an offhand piece. Is that a veteran? Yeah. Oh, Oh, we can get a discount here. Not. It can actually be a case where we just run out of Valor Stones, by the way, which has happened already. It's worth it. Rings are not worth it. Back is basically back. These are like accessory slots. They're all kind of shit. None of this is discounted. So it's only your main hand slots and your trinket slots. Discount. I think there's a warband upgrade too. Alright, well there's that. And now I'm at eye level 609, guys. Yay! I am so... 47.61. So I think upgrading that mitigation increased my physical mitigation. Upgrading my shield increased my physical mitigation by 0.5%. Alright. And improve the secondary effect by 0.1 mil, which isn't worth it. So it might not even have been worth upgrading the shield, purely because the secondary effect doesn't actually, the equip effect doesn't actually benefit from the upgrade. And there's so few I think this is actually a waste. The primary effects are so low, because there's so few of them, that it doesn't matter. This actually was probably a huge waste of my resources, by the way. Yeah. Well. No. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably a big waste. Let me see. What the fuck? Oh, I think that's in addition to the effect from Shield of Righteous. Yeah. Oh, maybe the... Oh. Oh, maybe it is 20%. Patch note says 20%. Here it's not. Not showing up properly. Not showing up properly on the tooltip, no. Yeah, so that makes it even less useful because of the boost from Shield of Righteous. This is even less useful. I think we figured it was like going to be about 1.3%. It's even less than that because my armor's so high already from Shield of Righteous. So this entire side of the tree here might just be worthless, just like this side. Maybe you're a Holy Paladin over here. I'm not. Crashy. $62.25. But it's still about 1.3%. Yeah, that's what the town's worth, which is basically nothing, but I guess there aren't really... I think like a better choice down here is just doing utility stuff. Basically damage. This one I kind of want. For how it could help out a group member. If boss gets cast on them, auto cast. See how useful Seal the Crusader is in a dungeon when we do one. Okay. Well, kind of side graded maybe? We'll have to wait and see. Right. We did delves for the dungeon or for the... I'll wait until the end of the week and see where I am. Like I said, I'm kind of curious. I want to see how things go tonight, guys. Kind of curious. Didn't see any guides to see whether or not, like, the gear, the rewards for the gear. It's very difficult to figure out what you should actually do as far as events that happen, because they don't actually... The Dungeon Journal, even though the Venture Guide will show you, like, for instance, a reward, like 597, it doesn't tell you everything, because sometimes there's quests involved, which then give you, like, Alder, for instance. Didn't tell you it gave you a 610, but you figured it out if you actually went into Alder, because in the quest, like, it didn't show you that you actually get it from it. I don't know exactly what, if there's free gear this week or not. We aren't going to even do the keys, because it doesn't matter. Up until the end of the week to see where we're at for gearing and whether or not I'm still interested in the game. We don't really have much in the way of another game. The whole reason we made a mosaic, guys, is because, you know, like, it took a little bit of time. I also can use it for other games if we're getting stream snipe, but don't really have anything I'm interested in playing right now, so we're just going to keep playing this for the time being. Alright. Not sure. We'll either be switching to Deadlock, tanking in Overwatch, or doing Space Marines 2. Space Marines 2 is pretty easy to get bored of, unfortunately, because it's the same shit over and over and over again, and not really enjoyable, because there's no procedural generation, which we covered in our video on Space Marines 2, because there's no procedural generation. Makes it pretty lackluster. Bored of it pretty easily. Oh, let's see. So we have an oh shit button, guys, which we took time to make. We made a mosaic. Yeah, we did miss yesterday, and we actually would have made key if people didn't start fucking around. Let's see. That from Blackrock Spire? The stats on it are garbage. But it has really high DPS for single-handed. No, it doesn't. It just sucks. No, never mind, it's 367. I thought it was a 667. Group is very uncommunicative right now, guys.
We are the Titan's bedrock.
It. No. Where am I going? We don't actually need to be here. I have 2 charges. Oh my god, I have 2 charges Divine Steed now, guys. Wow. Once again, it doesn't even really matter. It doesn't really even fucking matter, guys, that I have a new weapon, because you do poop for damage. No. Actually eating?
So here we are. High Speaker Eirich. Or is it just Eirich now? He's fled from the Hall of Awakening into the Stone Vault.
I pull however big size I can keep up with.
5,
Be disappointed.
4, 3, 2, 1. And now you learn the true lesson of the void.
Dude.
So here we are. High Speaker Eirich. Or is it just Eirich now? He's fled from the Hall of Awakening into the Stone Vault. He's probably running like a frightened mouse.
Someone pulled the other group down the hall.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step. Watch your step. Interrupt. Interrupt. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Grapple. Your ascension. Target change. Watch your step. Interrupt. Grapple. Grapple.
Well, we're actually pretty meaty right now. I don't know if the healer's really good or what's going on here. He's only a 6, though. That's where things go. Also, I haven't used any of my armaments. Most of the changes for paladins are going to be from healing. Tanking. And boss. Boss I think is pretty cool.
Your ascension. Target change.
What's this? Is that golem fused with something else? Titanic earthen technology enhanced with magical augments.
Nose.
Intruders approaching. Activating defense protocols.
Watch your step.
Protocol activated. Offensive measures engaged. Dominant intruder identified.
Watch your
Seismic
step.
protocol activated. Offensive
Laser
measures
immune.
engaged. Dominant
Defensive.
intruder identified. Engaging offensive protocols.
Your ascension. Target change. Watch your
Seismic
step.
protocol activated. Offensive measures engaged.
Laser on you. Run.
Dominant
Defensive.
intruder identified.
Oh, that's still chunks, man.
Watch your
Seismic
step.
protocol activated.
Gonna die on the next one. Can you run away from that? I don't think you can.
Offensive measures
Laser on you.
engaged.
Run.
Dominant
Defensive.
identified. Engaging offensive protocols. All systems should.
Okay. Well, we actually beat that one.
Looks like the main door is locked.
Yeah.
Either one of these paths should lead us to an access console.
Wait for the healer.
Your ascension. Target change.
Huh?
Watch your step.
And I guess we pulled too much trash.
Watch your Watch your Watch your step. Watch your Watch your step.
Your ascension.
Not good.
Target change.
Oh no, I can't do that multiple times. I think cast sequence, I need to have a button where it actually stops me from pushing the button. Like you have to, if you spam it, it doesn't cast the next one in the sequence. Because I fucking spam all my defensive cooldowns, not where we want to be.
Watch your Watch your
Hit that to the face.
Watch your Watch your
Boss does these, by the way, so we're gonna have problems if they don't. Better if we die here than on the fucking boss, where people are learning. One of the things I really like about, like, World of Warcraft over the years, where they actually made it so you experience the mechanics prior to it happening. I think they started doing that in Kata? Maybe not, I don't remember. It's pretty common nowadays in most MMOs, but it wasn't for a while.
Your ascension.
target change. In flight.
Once again, I wish you could use other paladins consecrate. Like if there's a consecrating ground, you can just use them. A small quality of life buff for paladins.
Stone Vault. Fanatically loyal, no doubt.
Intruders detected. Defense protocols activated.
Interrupt 1. Defensive. Watch your run to edge of room. Defensive. Interrupt 2. Watch your target change. Defensive. Find clear vent. Interrupt 1.
Break it down!
Interrupt 2. Defensive. Find clear vent.
Guaranteed into it.
Defensive. Interrupt 1. Defensive. Watch your find clear vent.
Just RNG, and I guess we RNG'd into it again.
Break it down!
Watch where.
Alright. I didn't use my fucking weapons, my secret weapons like at all. I literally spent too much time looking at the fucking defensive cooldowns and waiting for you to use shit. Oh! Heal Chan, please! Where the fuck did the fucking healer go? What?
Target change.
was that? We had no heal for like 10 seconds. Did the fucking team just run away? I can't.
Interrupt. Watch your...
What the fuck is going on here? They all just fucking ran away when I died and they battle res me.
Watch your... Interrupt. Watch your...
What the fuck is this shit? Bro! What the hell? This is the most trolly voice. Like, they literally all got in the cart the moment I died, and the pack would have still pulled to them, by the way. What the fuck? Bro. Holy shit.
AOE incoming.
Also, if I actually, like, fought that, we might have actually been able to kill that group.
Your ascension.
Target change.
We might just be RNG doing the mechanics on the new Zalith, weekly too. I don't know exactly what's going on with them right now. Hold the group behind it.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Oh.
Interrupt. Interrupt.
Your ascension.
Interrupt. Target change. Interrupt. 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 AOE incoming. AOE incoming. Watch your step. Target change. Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Might need to change how Deadly Boss Mods works. I only wanted to basically tell me. I should save that. I only want it to tell me when there's something I have to use a defensive cooldown on, as opposed to a lot of the positional spam that it does, which is stuff that you all learn. The defensive cooldowns, you have to make sure that you know which one's that, and it tells you which one's which, but not all the time.
And corruption? Fascinating.
Defense target change. Target change. Watch your step. Defensive. Target change. Watch your step.
Someone saw it. The only one that we had a problem with last time we did this was literally the first boss with the defensive cooldown, which is basically a fucking gear check.
Defensive. Target change. Target change. Watch your step.
Oh, boss! So you can actually see boss in the bottom right. Maybe you guys can't because it's actually on.
Target change. Watch your step.
And we still had to do trash. Oh no, we have a final boss still.
Look for a service tunnel nearby. You should be able to take a minecart back to central
Right.
processing.
Charging.
Pull the next group when they show up.
There he is. Look out.
Charging.
It seems like poetic justice, but let's finish this.
Nothing back. Watch your step. Target change. Charging. Knocking back. Watch your step. Charging. Charging. Attack totem. Attack totem.
Oh, there we go.
Target change. Knocking back. Attack totem. Watch your step.
Interrupted him. Sometimes you get a weird cast off with your Avenger Shield and it doesn't interrupt the guy that's casting, mainly because it lags a little bit from travel time. You don't take it into account.
Attack totem. Watch your step.
Your ascension.
Target change. Knocking back. Attack totem. Attack totem. Watch your step. Knocking back. Attack totem. Watch your step.
We're gonna have to take a look at the end here and see how much boss help too. I'm kind of curious because definitely people are dying, which means it was going off. It's doing stuff. I wonder how much damage it did to me too.
I am. You obey.
Frontal.
Apotheosis.
Your ascension.
Target change. Dispel near rift. Spread. Frontal. Safe now.
Apotheosis.
Boss just went off, by the way. It's actually kind of cool, seeing basically how often...
Frontal. Safe now.
You can see how much boss is actually helping based on the cooldown. And it's going off. And I'm not doing it at all.
Shadows envelop.
Dispel near rift.
Apotheosis.
Your ascension.
Target change.
I'll have mine. It fucks.
Spread safe now.
Disorder.
Frontal.
Shadows envelop.
So if we actually cleared that group, if we cleared the group at at the minecart earlier, we'd be done right now, by the way. But, I mean, we're still under time, so. That one group that I wiped down and they got battle res done, and... yeah. I don't think it's... no, we should go back to the train cart, the other way. I don't think we skip trash this way. No. I don't think this is the right way. Yeah, we're blind leading the fucking blind. It's Just don't follow anyone. Just follow everyone else except the tank, guys. When's WoW over? I don't actually know. Because I don't really have a game lined up, so... Like, why are they all following everyone except for me? What the fuck is this shit? Oh, I have buff, too, for 30%. Look at that. Oh my god, I can use it for travel, too. I have no idea I had one, by the way. It's kind of fun, but, like, the alternative here is we're going to be playing Deadlock, which honestly doesn't even look that much fun. Or... tanking in Overwatch, which I haven't really done in forever.
Watch your...
That DK, by the way, beside him being kind of a spaz, he knows what he's doing, so...
That you were destined for great things. Rejoice, for you have aided the end of all things.
What are they doing? Why are we fucking following the people that... Dude. Are these people, like, leaving the inst... Maybe they don't want the gear? I don't know. Fractured Omens, pants. No idea. There's not really much in the way to play right now that's actually something I'm interested in. We might go back to Space Marines too, maybe not. Deadlock, like, it's kind of fun because it's a Smite-like game, and Smite-like games aren't very popular. So when they do show up on Twitch, you know, you kind of want to play them. However... I was right, by the way. Refining Fire, huge part of our damage now. So Refining Fire was actually a gigantic buff to... Well, not gigantic. It's a pretty big buff to a meaty damage buff to Paladins. I was correct. Crash pulls, which is also what I predicted earlier when we were talking about it. Or isn't even that much. Where's Blessed Hammer? Oh, like, Blessed Hammer's 4% now. That's incredible. But yeah, there isn't really much to... I don't know what to play, to be perfectly honest. There's not really much... I've played a shitload of single-player games the last couple months. This is basically a single-player game, even though it's PvE. It's not really something that can help your channel grow if you're a smaller streamer. There's a very tight niche for WoW streams on Twitch, mainly elitists. They want to watch the no-lifers play. And I like WoW, but I don't like WoW that much, so... yeah, there's not really... You go back to Overwatch, and which I don't really like. I like the game. Start a tank arc instead, which I haven't done, and play competitive tanking. By the way, single target, is this a boss fight? Yeah, it was a boss fight. Behind guidance, doing the majority of my damage, single target. That's incredible. Nice. The more interesting thing, however, is the Blessing of Sacrifice. I guess you guys can see it's because it's garbly. This is the Blessing of Sacrifice icon down here, though. See when it's on cooldown. even if you can't see the number on it. If we look at healing, I actually almost tied the healer for overall healing done, which is also something. Which means the healer might be shit, or we just have to wait to see what new healing for paladins is normalized at. On the boss, I actually out-healed the healer. Overall, tempered in battle, 16%. Word of glory. Light bearer. Oh, it doesn't actually show you blessing and sacrifice. Hostile attacks, maybe. Where can you see it? Sacrifice should be in here, I guess not. Definitely saw it activating. I wish I could see how much it was activating. Battle. Ah. That's overhealing. Tempered in battle. Majority of my overall healing was from Tempered in Battle, which is healing teammates through my weapons. That was insane. That's what I said was going to happen. It actually beat out my Word of Glory healing guys. I healed my teammates more than I healed myself. Well, I mean, actually, this includes Tempered Battle, includes all my other stuff that's healing me, right? Dude, this must be fucking easy mode for the fucking healer. Absolute fucking easy mode. Like, I'm not, personally, like, damage-wise, so, like, what would you even call that? Accolades does not actually look that good for me. But for my teammates, the healer, this takes a lot of load off the fucking healer. Like, I'm off healing out the wazoo. What is Lightbearer? So Lightbearer is the healing I did basically through shared healing. It gives me 10% healing. So that's actually 10% of my overall healing. I thought it was going to be lower than that. This is healing that goes through me like Beacon of Light to my teammates. So basically I'm healing my teammates through heals to myself. But it's only everyone else healing them. It's not... I don't know why it's not all healing. I guess they don't want paladins to heal group members too much. You'd think this would be all healing, right? It's not. And Lightbearer actually does more. It has to be fucking easy. Maybe the healer fell asleep, that's why we wiped. Yeah. Because it's... Blessing of Sacrifice takes the edge off when they reach low HP. Oh, we can see the heal from Blessing of Sacrifice. What is that? Holy Ritual. So, Holy Ritual is actually 2 heals. Well, we have Boff, too. There. 51 times, 25 times, disregarding the times that activated based off Boff. The only blessings I use basically is Boff, occasionally, as well as Blessing of Sacrifice, which is auto-activated. Yeah. Because I don't use Bop at all. That's actually... So that's actually... This means, I think I activated Boff 2 times. So that means 51 times here. I don't know why it's 51 instead of a round number. Somehow it only activated... Maybe if someone died, it didn't activate twice on them. So it'll go 52, 25, 26 times, minus 2. That means Blessing of Sacrifice activated 24 times in the instance. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. There's no fucking way. Holy Ritual only comes from Blessings, and it activates twice, at the beginning and end. I have something else that I'm using? Oh. There's Bop, Boff, My defensives aren't blessings. Blessing of sacrifice. I've activated 24 times. There's not enough time in the instance. What? How do we have 51 counts of Holy Ritual, guys? It activates twice, so 26 times. What is it activating 26 times off of? Boff would be... Oh, Boff counts for... twice, because it activates on me and a teammate. Let's go 3 times, so it was 6 times of Boff. So that's 20 activations? That'd still be 40 minutes. I don't know, and unfortunately we can't see, I can't just see the Blessing of Sacrifice activations. I thought it'd be under damaging attacks. Friendly fire, tempered in battle. Well, that's redistribution of health when people get low on HP. That's still a lot, by the way. 39 times where redistributed health. Actually might do multiple count. It's over 4 seconds, so 10 activations where people were reduced below 40% HP, and my HP pool was being redistributed to them. And 17 million redistributed HP. That would actually be added into my healing, too. I completely out-healed the healer. No, I'm not. This is 546 million. $17 million. That's still a decent chunk. Maybe? No. I mean, it's basically when people need it, too. So this is healing, like with boss, this is healing when they need it. This isn't just rando healing. This is when they're low on HP. And boss isn't showing up there. I don't know where to see boss triggers. Lightforge Blessing, 5% of my overall healing to myself. And Sacred Word. Okay. Not my ability. Ritual might not be me either. Holy Ritual is activations through... Oh yeah, this is what we just covered. For boss. Yeah, hands... Reactive webbing, 3%, that's my shield. Actually that bad, that's 4%. It's actually worth less than this is. Still did shit for damage, guys. I mean, one of the DKs had 18% of damage, so I almost tied a DK. Okay. Let's see. And pop the stone vault up. One second, guys. Smile at me when I say hello. That makes me feel... But yeah, I don't know. And also, streams have kind of slipped to a 3-hour stream, which is still 20 hours a week, which is, you know... time. Not really much going on right now. Yeah.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now you learn the true lesson of the void.
Try and bypass. This isn't buy time. Some people really want to do it, though. It's all timed anyways, so it doesn't matter.
Frontal. 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 Target change.
That's not good.
Frontal.
know exactly how the weekly mechanics can work, so I'm going to ask in group to get people to talk about it. Do it.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Your ascension.
Target change.
We're talking about right now because the first pull, or second pull, our teammates didn't actually do the mechanic, and it super buffed the mobs, which is why I almost died. We only had a problem with the first day. This used to. Definitely need to change that, so if I spam the key, which I usually do, it doesn't actually cause it to, By the way, boss went off.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Your ascension.
Target change. Watch your feet.
So I was unintentionally doing the mechanic earlier.
Watch your feet.
Simply by being a paladin.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Interrupt.
These insects!
Frontal. Watch your step.
I need to turn down the fucking grass.
Your
Deadly.
ascension.
Spells should override the top of, maybe they forgot about it. Spells should 100% override, things like grass.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Frontal. Watch your step.
Someone's DPSing the boss.
Interrupt. Frontal. Watch your feet.
Your ascension.
Run a mana.
Target change.
Yeah, people. So they try to DPS the boss down because they see it's so low, but you can't because there's a giant fucking You'll see that happening. Because he basically loses a shitload of,
Yay! My friends are here to play! Come along!
I don't use his mana to the spec.
Pull-ads out. Pull-ads out.
Can you find your way through the mist? Choose wisely.
I believe it's this one?
And sigil show
Ha.
the way.
Alright.
One does not belong. One you must follow.
You did it! Good guess.
Pull-ads out.
Your ascension.
Target change.
I don't... Like, what counts? Is there, like, order of priority or something? There's an add-on.
You're almost there.
Pull-ads out. Pull-ads out. Pull-ads out. Pull-ads out.
Oh, I think they're saying pull ads out? That's what it is.
Your ascension.
Target change.
Complete.
This guy? This guy, right? Yeah. That's an easy one.
No fooling you.
Defensive. Breath incoming. Defensive. Pull-ads out. Breath incoming. Defensive. Breath incoming.
I think. Pretty sure it's this one. The one least like it, right? So it's this guy.
Hooray!
Yeah.
You're almost there.
5 pole? No.
Pull ads out. Target change.
Did we go the wrong way?
Your ascension.
Target change.
This one? So it's the one least like it.
Guess.
All right. It's. I think it's. I did this in the actual expansion pack that came out, and I still don't fucking understand it. I think it's the one least like it,
So much fun.
but there's some that aren't like it at all. And also, no patty cake, guys. No patty cake,
Stay away
please.
from lines.
Good bitch. All I am is a patty cake bot. Only reason I exist is to interrupt patty cake. That is it.
Stay away from lines.
One of us is not like the others.
Hit it anyways.
Interrupt.
Would you play with me?
No.
Pretty please.
No.
Stay away from lines.
No.
Here I am.
Your ascension.
Target change. Stay away from lines. Interrupt.
I want to play with you.
Oh, God bless the fucking DS cancel macro, guys.
Stay away from lines.
Oh, are you feeling tired?
Interrupt.
Special game, just for us.
Oh,
One of
bud.
us is not like the others.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
Don't you want to keep a
Interrupt.
special game, just for us?
Your
But anyways, it's alright. Sounds long,
Target
shorter.
change. Stay away from lines. Interrupt.
Just for us.
Oh.
Stay away from lines.
I got. Here, I'm just gonna eat that. Life healer. Keep me alive, healer. Life healer. All I had to do it like there's nothing else going on.
Stay away from lines.
One of us is not like the others.
Interrupt.
Play with me.
Oh.
Pretty please.
It's actually funny. All like 3 people in the group all tried to protect me at once. The DK dropped the magic shield on me. The healer also used cooldowns on me.
You found me! Great job!
Oh, there we go.
That was fun! I haven't played like
The hardest
that
part
in
of the
so
dungeon,
long.
so.
Let's do it again!
Bitch.
Time for play has passed. The winds urge us forward.
Aw, okay. No more lists. Hey! This doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all.
Side withers.
Besides the gimmick shit, it's actually I enjoyed the dungeon. I'd rather do that than the fucking annoying.
Target change. AOE incoming. Interrupt.
Cooldown checks. I don't even know what to call them. Mitigation checks. It's like, hey, you might pass this, you might not. I'd rather play fucking patty cake than knowing whether or not I can do it or not.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Your
AOE incoming. Target change.
Wait for them to finish the mechanic. There you go.
Watch your
Still
step.
absorb some of them.
Watch your step. Interrupt. AOE incoming. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Group's pretty good, guys.
Watch your step.
The shit show, like the kind of groups I've gotten for this instance, guys, are just all
Target
over the place.
change.
That must be so difficult if you don't have a paladin in the group. Just like constantly just rotating through a vendor shield that instantly just kills them.
Watch your step.
I'm pretty sure most classes don't actually have an AoE silence. It's master spell. Like 7 of them? Seems like everyone would have to do one or multiple. Stuff. Last night's group, for instance, all over shit show. Would have been fine too if people didn't start fucking around, as they did. Reality of WoW Dungeons.
Watch your step.
Boss went off too, you can see in the bottom right. Bosses must be absolutely fucking doing work for healers.
Target change. Watch your step. Interrupt. Watch your feet. Watch your step. Line apart. Pulling in. Run.
Oh, fuck off.
Watch your step. Watch your feet. Watch your step. Interrupt.
Your ascension.
Target change. Watch your step. Line apart. Pulling in. Run. Watch your feet.
I just used fucking 2 defensives. Oh my, did I use all 3? No, I used 2.
Interrupt. Watch your step. AOE incoming.
By the way, this is better than doing the trash early because it's just a set amount and it'll immediately end the moment that you reach the set amount. Hit guys last night that wanted to do the trash and get to 100% or over it, which you can't round down with the group, but you can't underpull.
Your ascension.
Target change. Watch your step.
Stop, bugs.
Watch your step. AOE incoming.
That you were destined for great things. Rejoice, for you have aided the end of all things.
Look, boss went off again. Those are people that fell below 40%. Not really. Wow. Cloth and mail. That's a pretty straightforward run, guys. That was straight to the point. Good shit. They said not really, guys. I can literally see how often boss goes off. Boss goes off when someone's below 35% HP. They're below 35% HP. That goes off and literally fucking gives them a 30% mitigation. Then I eat the damage off of it too on top of it. And then my weapons also on top of that are also like feeding heals to people with a weapon. 40% HP, I redistribute health to them, which means they just get fucking healed off a tank, which is insane. DPS wise, still pretty shit. Still pretty poop, 15% of the damage. DPS was higher for a secondary. Shield of Righteous. Refining Dot, that's still way up there. Avenger Shield used to be more of my damage. Avenger Shield used to be. Shield of Righteous is up here this time. But if we scroll through here and look at healing done, I have more healing than the healer, guys. I have overall healing. In this instance, I have 45% of the overall healing. The healer had 36. Yeah, and boss is going off, which is mean I'm saving their ass when people are low on HP. I'm saving their ass. Also, they get healed too off of Holy Ritual. Yeah, I did 45% of the healing in that instance. And let's scroll down here to see, what is it called? Holy Ritual went off 84 times. Which once again, Boff will have, I don't know what I'm doing. That it must be something other than boss, because boss is a 2-minute cooldown. If it went off 40 times, it'd be an 80-minute dungeon, which isn't true at all. That's pretty fat. Doing something that's actually triggering Holy Ritual. Holy Ritual is only off of casting a boss, or excuse me, a blessing. Triggers twice. And for some reason, it's going off 84 times, which is technically 42. So 42 blessings I cast. Boff obviously triggers, maybe we use this maybe 4 times, 5 times. So that would be 10 times. That's still literally 32 times of blessing of sacrifice. This wasn't this wasn't an hour-long mission. This was 100 minutes. $60-minute mission, excuse me. Buff up times, I don't know. It'd be a good one to check. Trying to figure out exactly the number of times the boss casts. Boss, by the way, this is literally an oh shit button. This is an oh shit button for the healer. And I can see it every time it goes off because it's on cooldown, right? So it is actually happening. And the only way I can seemingly keep track of it is Holy Ritual. Doesn't show up in damage, even though I'm taking damage from it. I also overhealed the Schnoz out, which, you know, for me that's different because I word a glory spam. That's not really, it's not really preconceived overhealing. It's not like I'm sitting there thinking about it. The overhealing healed out the Schnoz. What activity is some sort of APM metric. I don't know how it calculates it. DK, I called that. The DK was putting in work. He also, when we had mobs, even though they're silenced and they're crawling to me, when we had mobs outside of my AoEs, he was actually pulling them to him, so the DK was pretty good. Doesn't look like it keeps track of it. That might be a details thing. I don't know what that'd be under. Maybe... no one. Or the spell bug. Trying to figure out exactly where damage taken. Trying to figure out exactly where Blessing of Sacrifice, we can see some sort of trigger times. Not seeing it anywhere. Also, damage from is that split up separate? DPS from, as I mentioned before, it might even be worth getting rid of this just so it triggers more often. Worthy Sacrifice is like, it is 50%, enough Worthy Sacrifice. Recompass is 50% of 30% of the damage you take. Can't imagine it being that much. I mean, it adds overhealing. Healing in general. Might swap the sacrifice. This might just be a 2-minute cooldown because it says 100% of Blessing Sacrifices cooldown, as opposed to the prorated one, which is after talent for it. Like I mentioned earlier tonight, we might just trade this off. We'll have to spend more time with this. If this still triggers a 2-minute cooldown regardless of this, obviously I'll use Recompass, but this might just be worth trading to that. It's tough to figure out stuff when there's no stats for it, though. And it's relatively new, so it might get upgraded. Recount is basically just kind of they're just keeping it going, as opposed to details, which is under active development. Or active development. Yeah, I'm not downloading Raider.io for multiple reasons. People often use it as just a way just to disregard you. Or to shit talk you, one of the two things, and neither are worth my time. And all it gives you basically is a gear score. gear score off of it. I'm not really... You can figure out your own gear score already. So, I know all the elitists. I know people use Raider.io. I know all the elitists use it. I'm not really interested in that. Privacy option engaged. If I played more, I might do it. I don't know how long I'm going to play for, though. But that was actually a pretty productive night, guys. It looks like we got... Once again, this healer literally said that I didn't make it easy. It went lol. No. Guys, we out-healed the healer. The healer is 36% healing. I have 46. Boss was going off like a boss, by the way. Boss is literally... This patch wasn't really, like, for pro paladins, wasn't really beneficial in terms of damage. It was mainly beneficial in terms of healing, and I guess just overhealing, overhealing, and helping your group out. There's a lot more of that, as opposed to, there's a little bit of damage buff, but it's mainly healing through boss, through armaments. A lot of healing through armaments. I mean, Holy Bolt work. Let's see. How did we figure it out before? I think it's based off of Tempered in Battle. So we can see right here that 6.8%, this is healing that went to teammates, by the way. Of my healing went to teammates that had armaments on them. Then on top of that, you have the Beacon of Light, the Light Bearer, which is redistributed healing from yourself, which is 4.2%. So it's like 10% of my overall healing went to teammates that I didn't even try to do. Just in general, and on top of what's it called, Holy Ritual, also redistributing heals when people are low. So not only does it trigger the mitigation, but it also heals them on top of it when it's going off. That's pretty insane. Holy, like this is just like a, I don't even think you can begin to maybe not conceptualize, but this is actually an extremely good talent for helping keep everyone in your group alive. The boss upgrade. This is a huge deal through Worthy Sacrifice. That's a fucking huge deal. It only happens, too, when they're basically below 35% HP. So it's always when they're really kind of fucked. And that's really important. I wish I could figure out how much Recompass is helping, but I can't. Yeah, just add... Oh, no. Nothing. There's no fucking way. Is it under healing, too? It's 0.5%. There's no fucking way. So it shows up in damage. That's off of Word of Glory, or excuse me, Shield of the Righteous. Recompass, it should also heal too, so if I'm spamming Word of Glory, it's going to add to my heal as opposed to my Shield of the Righteous. No, so it doesn't show for healing. It adds into my Word of Glory, though. I probably spam that. I don't know, I spam both these very frequently. You can see that it triggered, DPS-wise, triggered in 5 times off of damage. None of my damage, guys. Unfortunate that it doesn't show up under healing. But yeah, like, we just out-healed the healer. This is actually probably one of the... If we didn't have the upgraded talents, this probably actually would have been a very, very shitty instance, guys. I mean, you can't really quantify it because it could be there being, like, chill, mainly because I'm doing a lot of the healing, so maybe that they would put out more numbers if they had more stress on them. But because I'm kind of taking up the slack, you know, their numbers might be down. But this healer's being this much lower than me, and healing is usually a really, really, really bad thing. Can you check the gear score through? No, you can't. I wish you remembered that. Yeah, I just want a simple gear score for people, just to attach their number, their name, that's it. And I know Raider.io does that. Yeah, so like we out-healed the healer by 10%. That's insane. Also, where is it? Trud? Boss fight. Boss fight, we out-healed the healer by about 9%. We could have casted a shitload of buffs, too. I wish I could see activations for boss. This actually matters a lot. It's like Verkle. It's like Verkle for me, only for teammates. Verkle is where it casts Gawk on me when I'm low on HP. Honestly, I feel as though it should trigger more often than it does. It's set to, I think, 30%, and it should be 40. Because when you're below 30%, you'll just die. Like, it's almost unrecoverable at that point. It's more helpful, obviously, when you're getting chunked for less, but against higher level bosses, and guess why it's still pulling shit numbers. I don't think we're even going to make up for this. Even when you put stats into damage, you just don't do it. Unless one of the DPS is bad or under-geared. Verkle pops at 30%. This should be 40. I feel as though this should be 40. Even allowing to set it, maybe? But for me personally, I'd pick 40%. When you're at 30%, and it is literally like sometimes you're just one attack away from dying at 30%. So even if it pops, it might not even do anything. It just doesn't have enough overhead available. It sounds weird, but it seems like activating more often actually, like, it'd be much more beneficial. I mean, obviously it's kind of something where it's supposed to be an oh shit thing, but the problem is, like, this is a take on the talent where it used to be Ardent Defender automatically activated, which was helpful, so it'd prevent you from dying, and I actually think that's a much better system than this is. This, you legit can just, like, fall over, even when it's running. Or sometimes it doesn't even activate it. You get down to, like, 32%, and you just get chunked for the rest of your HP, so it doesn't even get a chance to activate it. It's just you're too low. Because of how chunky bosses are when they hit you nowadays. It doesn't even seem... Too little, too late. You're fucked. Sometimes it doesn't even go off. Okay. So tempered in battle. Like, patch highlights, guys, I would say right now the biggest changes that really, really, really matter and are impactful. Word of Glory buff to healing. Tempered in battle. As well as the boss kind of like sub-tree here for prot paladins. Very, very good. Mainly specifically with Worthy Sacrifice. This I'm still unsure of on Recompass, and we might switch this around a little bit. Otherwise, this is a huge beneficial change. Tempered in battle, huge change. Refining Fire also added a boatload of crowd control, or not crowd control, AoE. It's a lot of damage from Refining Fire, because you have a lot of Avenger Shield spam. Let's see. Seal the Crusader. Lightforged Blessing. Light Bearer is also... Beacon of Light, this is also a big change. Redistributes healing to your teammates. Like I said, there's a lot of upgrades for this instance, which are helpful for the rest of your team, as opposed to being personally beneficial to you, which I'm not completely against. It feels so lackluster as being a prot paladin. You used to pull huge numbers, and now you can't. You're just swinging your sword, and just a buff bag? You're just a buff bag now. Seal the Crusader, Lightforged Blessing. Lightforged Blessing, 7%. That's pretty good. Still pretty good. A lot more this time than our last instance. I think our last instance was lower. Also in the patch notes, this was 3% and this was 20%. I guess it must have been old patch notes. Later, kinda... I mean, we have worse things. Then there's also, like, Shield of... Like, this key guy's Blessed Hammer, Hammer of the Righteous is pretty shit. Or crap attack. So, I mean, definitely got buffed. It's not exactly like in the hopeful ways. I wish it could do more damage. It's not really doing that. But definitely buffed in this patch and makes things much more easy. So, yeah. We also upgraded our eye level a little bit. It probably was even worth doing my weapon, by the way. I shouldn't have done my shield. Turned out the shield, because it has so few stats on it, was a waste. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done something else. Like my ritual knife instead. Waste. Not enough stats. The stat allocation is pretty poor on it. Beyond the perk, which is what I got it for. I'm using it. Look at it. Reactive web. Go to heals per second. It was like 4%, 3%. %. So not really super amazing. Once again, the upgrade to it added 0.1 to the shield. Like, it has to be bugged, because it did absolutely nothing. That was yep. I shouldn't have spent resources on it, guys. That was a waste. I could have just put my other shield back on and upgraded that. Might actually do anyways. Like, it was fine for the eye level, but pumping an extra 10 points into it, 10 eye level points into it, was not worth it. Too static. It's, once again, when you start getting, like, normally the gear scaling kind of works alright when you're upgrading stuff, right? It's when you get into the weird niche stuff, like trinkets and swords, like use items, where they have to go through and custom balance it. You'll find stuff that isn't actually balanced properly, and this is one of them. Where it's kind of alright for the eye level when the first pass, but if you upgrade it, it's not. It's just a waste, absolute waste. So, yeah.
Inquiring minds just got to know.
Hear that? That's the sound of adventure calling our name.
I don't know where all the weeklies are. Normally there's a bunch of weeklies that show up here. There's nothing this week. I guess because they're doing the anniversary event. Okay. We're going to call things here for this evening, guys. Kind of in overtime right now. I wanted to play a little bit more. Spent a bunch of time making a mosaic yesterday, which I think actually helped a lot. We have a lot less shenanigans going on in our group now after I made that, so there's legit people that just go to channels to troll, as it turns out. And it's not perfect, but it's better than where we are. Obviously, so it muddles. All it does is change the names so you can't read them, and that's it. There really should be anti-stream snipe mode in the game, and there's not. So, yeah, we're going to call things here for this evening, guys. Tonight will be more of World of Warcraft, guys. We're going to be doing some more instances, leveling up a little bit here. We bumped our ratings for both Stone Vault as well as Miss, and we'll probably be able to bump up these other ones now that I have DBM installed, as well as a rotational macro for my mitigation. Should be able to do City of Threads, the first boss. And these other ones aren't actually that bad. So, big one that we had problems with was Stone Vault as well as City. On the bosses with basically mitigation checks where you have to hit a mitigation effect right before they do an attack, otherwise you die. We'll probably be able to bump the City of Threads tonight too. Up there. I'm pretty sure we can start taking on 8s. Oh, also we have the... I didn't even take a look at this. We also have the 4-piece. We'll do that tomorrow. Kind of curious on how much I actually get my holy power up to before I actually pop it again. Percentage. Yeah, I don't actually know what I want to do now. Now that I wasted so... Like, we might just put this back on. I mean, it's... Yeah, we might just put this back on, guys. I mean, maybe until we get points to put into the actual shield. Yeah, that was kind of... well, whatever. Live and learn. Alright, we're going to call things here for this evening, guys. If you're new to the stream and you enjoy things, break the follow button on your select platform. I stream to Kick, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, as well as TikTok. Every day, from late night to early morning, so all the platforms, GMT -6, so late night North America time. I stream for about 5 to 6 hours, give or take. Depends on my life, what's happening, etc., etc. My streams have been relatively short nowadays, but that's mainly because I have other things going on in my life, and obviously streaming takes a back seat. Word to call things here for this evening, guys. Tonight will be more of World of Warcraft. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching my stream as always, and I hope you guys have a wonderfully fantastic Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Have a good day, guys.